Well, good morning, and welcome to the launch of the Maryland Grand Slam in Baltimore City. I'm Tiffany Robinson, Assistant Secretary at the Maryland Department of Housing and Community Development, and I'm honored to be here today to announce our lineup for what we know is going to be a huge success for our department, for the state of Maryland, the city of Baltimore, and most importantly, for approximately 400 families who will become new homeowners because of this program. The Maryland Grand Slam in Baltimore City is the result of a strong partnership between the state, the city, the Maryland Department of Housing and Community Development, and the Baltimore Department of Housing and Community Development. We're all here because we're excited to see revitalization in Baltimore, and we want to help hardworking families achieve the American dream of homeownership. We have assembled an all-star team for you today. But first, I want to thank Governor Hogan and the Hogan administration, whose support has made this initiative possible. I also want to thank the Baltimore Orioles, the Maryland Stadium Authority for hosting this event, allowing us to bring our partners together on this historic home plate in Camden Yards. It really doesn't get any better than this. I also want to thank everyone who has come out today, particularly Lieutenant Governor Rutherford, Mayor Rawlings Blake, and the multitude of partners who are going to help make dreams come true for the home buyers who take part in this program. So without further ado, it is my privilege to introduce our All-Stars. We'll begin with the leader who has a track record of success in providing solutions that bond the state of Maryland and the city of Baltimore. Together with Governor Larry Hogan, he continuously strives to ensure that Marylanders have the resources they need to be successful. So we were not surprised that he stepped right up to the plate to support the Grand Slam initiative. Please welcome Maryland's Lieutenant Governor Boyd Rutherford.
Thank you. It's great to be here, particularly in this stadium and in this location. Usually I'm somewhere in the stands, and I can remember bringing my daughter here a number of years ago and was sitting up there where I pointed out how the birds were flying below us in that seat. That was one of those Girl Scout, take your Girl Scouts to the ballpark. But, you know, I'm honored to be here on behalf of Governor Hogan to launch the Grand Slam, Maryland Grand Slam. And I'd like to start by thanking a number of individuals who are very critical to the success of this program. First and foremost is Mayor Stephanie Rawlings Blake, and I appreciate her partnership in this program. As you all know, Baltimore is our largest city, and Baltimore's success is integral to the success of the state. The goal of Governor Hogan and I is to see Baltimore reinvigorated, and we're hoping that this program will be a part of that. I also want to thank, and I'm not sure, I didn't see too many elected officials here, but the elected officials who are here, but also both our state and the city's Department of Housing and Community Development, as well as the Greater Baltimore Board of Realtors, the Maryland Bankers Association, for helping to ensure the success of this program. I also want to recognize the efforts of Live Baltimore and all the lenders and housing counseling agencies that are working on this program. Lastly, I'd like to thank the Board of Public Works, the Maryland Board of Public Works, as well as the Board of Estimates for their support in this program. This program is a direct result of teamwork, the type of teamwork that is needed in Baltimore to help families rediscover all of the wonderful things that the city has to offer. Maryland's Grand Slam will provide families the boost they need to purchase homes here. A healthy housing market is the key to a healthy economy, and this program is the result of the city and state's commitment on improving the economy and changing Maryland for the better. The Hogan-Rutherford administration is proud that we have supported this effort with $2 million in state funding, partnered with the city's $1 million in providing grants to hardworking families who want to own a home right here in the city. We are committed to supporting these families who work hard, want to raise their children well, and create a financial legacy for future generations. The Maryland Grand Slam program offers that opportunity. And so I'm grateful to stand here today with everyone and take this role of making this possible for Maryland's citizens and the citizens of Baltimore City. I have confidence that we're going to hit the ball out of the park, so to speak. That was actually written here. I would not have normally said that with the Grand Slam program. Thank you again. Thank you for everything.
Thank you. Thank you, Lieutenant Governor Rutherford, for your leadership and support of the Maryland Grand Slam in Baltimore City. We are fortunate to have a leader in Baltimore who has promoted neighborhood stabilization and economic development and who continues to encourage home ownership through her 10-year plan and vacancy to value program, among other initiatives. We are honored to be partnering with the mayor and the city of Baltimore in this joint Grand Slam initiative. Please welcome Mayor Stephanie Rawlings Blake.
Thank you, Tiffany. Good morning, everyone. It is my pleasure to be here with our Lieutenant Governor, Boyd Rutherford, who has been an incredible supporter. It is a pleasure to be here also with Secretary Ken Holt of the Maryland Department of Housing and Community Development. I also want to thank the Dean of the City Council, Councilwoman Ricky Spector, who is here. Thank you so much for your support of this initiative. I want to thank members of my team, including Commissioner Paul Graziano. His team has worked so closely on this announcement with our partners in the state and with, not just this announcement, but the entire program. And again, I want to thank Tiffany, Assistant Secretary, who is serving as our MC, but it also has come to Baltimore on other occasions in support of this initiative. I want to thank Ross Mackesy of the Greater Baltimore Board of Realtors and Steve Gondel from Live Baltimore, who's been a champion of home ownership in Baltimore. As you know, I have a vision of growing Baltimore by 10,000 families over the next 10 years. And in order to grow a family, we know that, yes, we have to both attract new residents, but we have to look for ways to create opportunities and reasons for those residents who are already here, give them more reasons to stay. And since I've entered office, my administration has utilized an array of home ownership incentives to help our city to grow. And we're seeing the fruits of that labor. Over the past 3 years, we've nearly doubled the number of families that we've aided with these incentives. Our homestead tax credit carryover is making it easier for families who want to grow and to stay in stay within Baltimore City to find attractive options right here at home as opposed to moving outside of the city. The Community Development Block Grant Home Ownership Program continues to better enable first-time buyers to enter the housing market. And the Baltimore Home Ownership Incentive Program, or BHIP, offers a number of incentives like our Vacancy to Value Booster Program, our Live Near Your Work Incentive, and our City Employee Home Ownership Program. All of these programs working together have made the dream of home ownership a reality for so many in our city. And today, I am proud to stand here with our partners from the state in officially announcing our next step in these efforts. The Grand Slam Home Ownership Program is a collaborative initiative, and that's what our city needs at this time. Strong collaborations with the state, our partner who understands clearly, the Lieutenant Governor and the Hogan administration understand the value of Baltimore's success to the success of our state. And I want to thank them for this strong partnership. With this partnership, this will help hundreds of qualified home buyers purchase homes here in Baltimore by the end of this year. Much like the Triple Play Maryland Mortgage Program in Prince George's County, but we couldn't do that again, Triple Play. We always have to go a little got to one-up them. With Baltimore's Grand Slam will support incentives offered by the Maryland Mortgage Program. And Lieutenant Governor, you might have thought your Grand Slam comment was corny, but the way we've been playing here lately, we need all the Grand Slams we can get. No offense. So this Baltimore Grand Slam will support incentives offered by the Maryland Mortgage Program, including a state investment of $2 million, a city investment of $1 million towards a down payment assistance grant that will help more people buy homes more easily. This is a milestone collaboration. It is unique in the way it combines the MMP incentives with our already successful BHIP program, ensuring that more people are able to put their roots down right here in Baltimore, strengthening our diverse neighborhoods. Again, I want to thank Lieutenant Governor Rutherford and the Maryland Department of Housing and Community Development and Baltimore Housing for their work on this joint initiative. And as the Lieutenant Governor says, I also wanted to thank our home owner support organizations who are out here today. You are out in the communities doing the tough work. Yep, I can see you. Doing the tough work, supporting home ownership, supporting with education, and the type of support that gives people that smooth pathway. A lot of people want to be home ownership, but without sometimes it's hand holding, sometimes it's encouragement, sometimes it's just the information, because people sometimes if you haven't owned a home before, it can all seem very confusing and not achievable. But with our supportive partners out there, you are helping us to make it a reality. I want to thank you for helping us in the implementation of so many of these incentives. So together we can continue to develop innovative policies and strong partnerships that will knock it out of the park, making it easier for families to buy homes and to grow in Baltimore. Again, thank you so much for the partnership, and I'm looking forward to many more in the years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Rawlings Blake. I would now like to call up our next leader in this effort, who I can personally attest is working tirelessly to change Maryland for the better. His groundbreaking initiatives under the Maryland Mortgage Program have proved to be extremely successful, and we expect no less from the Maryland Grand Slam in Baltimore City. Please welcome the Secretary of the Maryland Department of Housing and Community Development, Ken Holt.
Thank you. Thank you so much. What a great opportunity to be here, and it's very fitting to announce the Grand Slam program at Camden Yards, which is such a great example of teamwork. Camden Yards today is a world-class stadium with a world-class team. But 25 years ago, this property was vacant with no stars on the field. To get here, it took vision to bring the warehouse from the past into the future. It also took dedicated men and women working together, employing all of the talent that we have in the city and the state to accomplish so much good. With Maryland Grand Slam, the state and the city are again working together, as the mayor pointed out, to revitalize the city by helping more families become homeowners. Maryland Mortgage Bankers Association will help us sell this program, and it has 4 primary bases to cover. First, the interest rate is 0.25% below the standard Maryland Mortgage Program interest rate. Secondly, there will be a $5,000 down payment grant to assist individuals that will come from the state of Maryland. That will be added by an additional $2,500 grant from the city of Baltimore for down payment assistance. Finally, the 4th element is the waiver of a $450 fee from our Maryland Home Tax Credit Program. This will enable the borrower to save thousands of dollars on their federal taxes over the life of the loan. I'm very, very proud to be here and to be part of this team. I look forward to the program's success, and I have with me a memorandum of understanding that I'm going to sign that will begin the program. Thank you so much for joining us. And with my signature, we're off to play ball. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary Holt, for making it official. Rounding out the city and state leadership today, I would like to introduce our next speaker, who has dedicated over 30 years of academic and professional involvement in housing and community development. Please welcome Baltimore Housing Commissioner Paul Graziano.
Thank you, Tiffany. Thanks for reducing my age a little, too. I think I'm probably closer to 40 than 30 years at this point, but I like to keep it down there. It's a beautiful day here, and it's an exciting day. I'm so very, very happy to be here as we talk about this terrific partnership between the City of Baltimore and the State of Maryland. And I certainly want to thank my boss, Mayor Stephanie Rawlings Blake, for her leadership and her support of the whole range of community revitalization efforts that we are embarking upon and have been for the last several years. The Vacants to Value program, for instance, has seen us eliminate over 3,000 vacant and long-term uninhabitable properties through renovation and reoccupancy, and also through demolition where appropriate. A very, very important part of that is bringing in homeowners to buy those rehabbed houses. And so the mayor also created the BHIP program, Baltimore Homeownership Incentive Program. All along the way, the state has been a critical partner. And I want to thank Governor Hogan and Lieutenant Governor Rutherford for their support, and also Secretary Holt. I know he went back to the dugout here, and Tiffany Robinson, the Assistant Secretary. I also want to thank Bill Ariano. I'm not sure where Bill is, but Bill has been working with us side by side through all of these issues. I want to thank him. I want to thank Ken Strong, my Deputy Commissioner, his entire team, Michael Guy, the whole home ownership team. They've been wonderful. We've got folks here from our land resources team as well. I know we have a number of community partners out here, and I don't have my glasses on, but I'm told that we have folks from St. Ambrose, from Neighborhood Housing Services, Go Northwest, Garwin Oaks. I think I saw Marita Goodman out there. I did see her, I'm pretty sure. MICU, First Mariner, Jody Landers, I'm told, was out there. I think Jody's out there. So many partners in the communities who are working with us. It's an effort that involves first communities, and then city, and then the critical state support. So I am very proud to be here. I also want to thank Ross McKeesey, who is the president of the Greater Baltimore Board of Realtors. I understand he'll be coming out. He's on deck, getting ready to knock us in here. And then Stephen Gondal, who is the executive director of Live Baltimore, and ever the partner in promoting our programs and promoting the neighborhoods of this beautiful city. So thank you all very much for being here, and thanks to the Hogan administration and to the mayor for this wonderful partnership that allows us to continue this great work. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. As Commissioner Graziano mentioned, I'm thrilled to see representatives from the Maryland Mortgage Bankers Association here today. Not surprising, since they have continued to support our team in many ways, from game plans to cheerleading. More cliched terms. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank and recognize the Maryland Association of Realtors for their ongoing partnership and efforts statewide. We all know that homeownership rarely happens without realtors. The relationships they have and their knowledge and expertise is critically important to finding the right home for every family. That being said, another valuable realtor partner to this team is the Greater Baltimore Board of Realtors. We are fortunate to have their president with us today. Please welcome Ross Mackesy.
Good morning. Why is this important? It's important because we need programs like this as catalysts to communicate with all of these individuals who want to own homes. We know that 92% of all millennials would like to own a home within the next 4 years, but they don't know where to start. They have a misconception that they need a 20% down payment to get into the program or to get into home ownership. And so the reality is that even without incentives, the average millennial down payment is less than 5%. All of us here today need to communicate that and then show that these incentives make it even easier. We hear a lot about the debt that millennials are carrying, student loan debt, credit card debt. My experience is that this is the most credit-worthy generation that's come along in the last 40 years. And that over 50% of them today have the credit scores and the income to enter into home ownership. And programs like this expand that percentage. But they don't know where to start. And so our job, everyone's job here today, is to communicate to them that these programs exist. And it needs to happen now, because we know that interest rates are going to rise. We know that housing prices are going to rise. In fact, in July, Baltimore City was one of 2 of the metro jurisdictions that had an increase in house prices. If the interest rate goes up 1%, the principal and interest payment to the homeowner goes up 12.5%. And so as house prices are going up, as interest rates are going up, which they will, then the ability to buy diminishes. So we need to get this word out. We need to get individuals before the normal home ownership driver, which is having children. And if we can capture or get them into home ownership in Baltimore City before they have children, the likelihood that they are going to remain here and buy their second and third and fourth home here increases dramatically. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ross. And finally, I want to introduce the organization dedicated to bringing the benefits of city living to Maryland families. Live Baltimore is completely focused on cultivating additional residents in Baltimore City. Please welcome Stephen Gondel, Executive Director of Live Baltimore, who's going to help us hit it out of the park with the Grand Slam in Baltimore City. Steve.
Thank you, Tiffany. I was kind of hoping that the sound guy would be here so I could get my own theme song walking out like the players do, but that's all right, next time. Again, I want to thank Tiffany, our Lieutenant Governor, our Mayor, Secretary Holt, Commissioner Graziano, for providing Live Baltimore with incentive programs such as Grand Slam to add to our extensive array of tools for supporting new Baltimore City homeowners. I'd like to recognize my all-star, my favorite member of this team, my unsung hero, the Baltimore City home buyer. This individual is responsible for bolstering our housing market from May through July, driving up the number of homes sold by an average of 21% over the same period in 2014. The Baltimore City homebuyer has increased new contracts by an average of 8% over the last 3 months. The Baltimore City homebuyer has reduced the number of days on market by 7%, which is indicative of a growing market interest. The Baltimore City homebuyer has contributed to a stabilized and rising median home price, thus supporting the value of homeownership. Maryland Grand Slam allows my team at Live Baltimore to approach the fall home buying season with even greater vigor to support the growing numbers of prospective home buyers. We have announced our own lineup of events and outreach activities on our website, livebaltimore.com, around the launch of the Grand Slam incentive, culminating with our Buying into Baltimore event, or more widely known as the Trolley Tour, on September 26th at Poly High School. Registration is now open. We will have workshops addressing Grand Slam, led by our partners at Maryland Department of Housing and Community Development, Baltimore Housing's team discussing the BHIP and vacancy to value incentives, along with an array of neighborhoods, homes for sale, and the most dedicated real estate professionals, some of whom are here today, so if you want to wave, some of Live, there we go, committed to the Baltimore City homebuyer. On top of that, there's a $5,000 incentive associated with this event, which can be layered with Grand Slam. Thank you again to our partners here for loading up the bases so we can allow the real all-star team member, the Baltimore City homebuyer, to hit their own Grand Slam to a new home. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve. And thank you, everyone, for being a part of this great team. I'm sure you will all agree that this lineup cannot be beat. The Maryland Grand Slam in Baltimore City is going to be a game-winning effort that delivers on the promise to change Maryland for the better. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for the hard work that brought about this initiative. And thank you for helping us begin this record-setting effort for home ownership in Baltimore City. Thank you.